let's record that. Okay, I have shared with you the tutorial. Okay, so shall we start?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. How many of you have done it? None? How am I supposed to start this? Okay. All right. So let's look at the first question. All right. Miss Liza, a Malaysian citizen, has a history of the following transactions involving properties. In 2011, Miss Liza was forced to dispose of a double-story house in Ara Damansara, which she owned for 3 years to settle losses suffered in her business. She sustained an allowable loss of 50,000 from this disposal. So for this disposal, all right, you don't have to do any computation. They just give you that in 2011, there's a disposal and that disposal result in an allowable loss of 50,000. In 2015, so means that in 2015, years later, she bought a double-story shop house costing 600,000 in Bangi for investment purpose. Miss Liza paid 100,000 using her personal cash on 20 August 2015, while the balance was financed with a loan of 500,000 obtained from a local bank. The bank transferred the money directly to the seller on 30th August 2015. Yeah. The interest payable on the loan was 8% per annum. Ownership of the shop house transferred to Lisa on 4th September 2015. Total legal fees and stamp duty incurred by Ms. Liza was 24,000. So in the second note here, what you have to take into account is that there's a purchase of another property. Then you have to determine what is the acquisition price, all right? And then you're also given, you have to also determine what is the acquisition date of the double-story house. All right, you were given that she paid her 100,000 using her personal cash on 20th August, and the balance paid 5 by the bank, and the bank transferred the money directly to the seller on 30th August, and then you have an interest payable, and then the ownership of the shop house transferred to Lisa on 4th of September. So you have to know how to determine the acquisition date of this. Is it the date that you transferred the ownership, or is it the date that you made full payment, in this case on the 30th of August? So you have to decide on the date, because that acquisition date will also determine how long is your holding period later. And then you'll say that Miss Liza rented the shop house to Top 10 neighborhood for 2,500 per month, commencing from 1st November 2015. She incurred 2,000 for a property agent and legal fees 1,000 in respect of the tenancy. Okay, careful with the note number 3 here, because note number 3, it says the shop house was rented out. So from the rental, you have rental income, all right? The one that we are dealing with is the RPGT. So the rental income is under Income Tax Act, and the disposal, if there is any for the shop house, will be under RPGT. So the income that you have 2,400 per month has nothing to do with your RPGT. All right, but this one goes into an income tax. Similarly, for this property agent and legal fees that you incurred, right? All this is part of the allowable expenses incurred for the advance for the rental income. Okay. Okay. Note number 4. After Top 10 student had moved out of the house on 30th September, moved out, yeah, Miss Liza decided to sell the shop house, incurred 100,000 to extensively renovate. So we have to see whether this, how much 100,000 renovation, where does it go? Is it part of your acquisition price, or is it part of your disposal price? All right. And then she hired a property agent to seek for prospective buyers and to arrange for viewing and booking. agreed to pay agent 3% commission on the selling price. So you have to decide again, the 3% commission, is it part of the action price or is it part of the disposal price? After a few months, the shophouse was finally sold to Zali for 1 million. The sale and purchase agreement signed on 28th of January 2019. Ms. Liza filed a return on 10 March 2019, notify RIB on the disposal of the Bangi shophouse. Right? So in this case, it said that compute the real property tax payable under RPGT on the disposal of the shophouse. And number 2, Mr. Zali is responsible. So who is Mr. Zali? Mr. Zali is the acquirer. Yeah. Liza is the disposer. Mr. Zali is responsible to retain a certain percentage of the value of consideration and submit the retained money to RB. State how much should Mr. Zali retain and when is the last date to submit to RB to avoid late payment penalty. Right? So for this question, all right, it's quite comprehensive, all right, because it applies all those allowable losses, and then you have to determine what is your acquisition price, what is your disposal price, how long is your holding period, all right, and then you have to look into also the administration in terms of the retain of the disposal money, yeah, retention. So this is the requirement for the acquirer of the property. Okay, so how are we going to do this? Any idea? How are you going to start with this question? Ah. Tulisan apa ni? Okay, number 1, all right, you are given an allowable loss. How much is the allowable loss? 50,000. All right. Number 2, you have to determine what is the acquisition price. Number 3, what will be your disposal price? And number 4, what is your holding period? Why? Because the holding period determines the tax rate. Okay. Can you see that clearly? Okay. So allowable loss will be, that means that from all this you have to determine what is your chargeable gain. All right. Chargeable gain from there. Then remember that the disposer, Miss Liza, is an individual. Then you also have your exemption. Okay. So if it's in a class, in a physical class, I will go around the class to check your answer. How am I supposed to do online? How will I know that you have done your homework? Okay. So dah baca ni. Okay, let's look at the acquisition price. Remember that you have allowable loss. So this one later we are going to use that allowable loss. All right, against this kat sini allowable loss, yeah. Remember, you pakai chargeable gain minus allowable loss, then only you minus your exemption. Okay, so let's decide on the acquisition price. So how you decide on the acquisition price? AP equals to consideration paid plus incidental cost minus capital receipts, isn't it? So how much you paid for the double-story house? Bought a 600,000, costing 600. So even though you only paid 100,000 and the balance paid by the bank, but the cost of the house that you have to pay is 600,000. So that is your consideration paid. And then it was financed. Remember that for the interest, interest expense on the property is no longer part of the incidental cost, yeah. Ownership of the house was transferred on 4 September. So what will be your, okay, that one later kita bila tengok holding period nanti, yeah. And then legal fee and stamp duty incurred was 24,000. That 24,000 is part of your incidental cost. Any capital receipts? So let's see, you rented out. Note number 4 is that you incurred renovation. So renovation will be part of your disposal price. And then you hired a property agent, dispose. This one is also your disposal price. After a few months, it was sold for 1 million. So there's no capital receipt. So this would be your acquisition price, 624,000. All right. Okay. So that is your acquisition price. You already have your acquisition price. So let's see what is your, now what is your disposal price. So AP, what is your DP, and what is your AP? AP is your 624,000. So let's look for your DP. What's your how is your formula for your disposal price? Consideration received. All right, how much you sell the property for? All right, I have 10 minutes before we can continue later. Never mind. All right, and then means that how much you can sell the property? You sell the property for 1 million. Yeah, so this is the selling price. So 1 million. So what is the formula? Formula is consideration received minus any capital expenditure incurred to enhance the value of the property. So how much you incur? So in this case, you incur renovation. How much is the renovation? 100,000. But this one is minus, all right, subtracted from the computation. And then you also have incidental cost incurred in disposing. All right, dia ada dua ya, incidental cost incurred in acquiring the property, so that will be acquisition price. Incidental cost incurred in disposing, then that will be your disposal price. But remember, it's deducted. So this one is your commission. 3% of 1 million is it 30,000? I hope so. All right. Any more that we have? Tak ada lah. Yeah. So from there, you should get your 870,000. Okay, what is this 870,000? This is your disposal price, 870,000. Is that clear?
Yes.
Yeah. Jangan tidur Agak kurang Alright. So once you done the disposal price, acquisition price, remember, you want to look at whether there's a chargeable gain or loss, then tengok AP masa beli 624,000 acquisition price, but now you can set 870. The disposal price yang you dapatlah, the net dia berapa? How much is the net? How much is the chargeable gain?
246,000.
246,000. Alright, very good. 246,000. Remember that sepatutnya tolak exemption kan? But you remember you have losses first. Yeah?
Yeah.
Loss tolak dulu baru you tolak exemption. You make use of your losses first. Ke you tengok salah. You make use of your exemption first. Okay? You ada dua ni. You nak tolak, satu is your exemption. What kind of exemption? Untuk individual?
10%.
10% or 10,000.
10,000.
Is higher. So you ambil exemption dia 24,600. Then only you use your allowable loss. How much you have losses tadi? You ada loss of 50,000.
50,000.
Isn't it? Tapi you nak pakai semua ke? Pakai semua lah sebab 246 kan. So you pakai everything. Now only the balance. Jadi berapa? How much is the balance?
171.
171,400.
400.
171,400 ni is the balance lah. Initially, chargeable gain is 246,000. But because you had the exemption 10,000 or 10%, whichever is higher. And then you also had the losses from the previous year. So you gonna losses too to reduce your chargeable gain. So rather than pay tax on the 246, you only have to pay tax on 171,400. So what is the tax rate? So you have, whenever you talk about tax rate, then you have to tengok lah, when is your acquisition date? When is your acquisition date of the property? Note number 2. You nak ambil mana? Which one is your acquisition date?
20 August
30 August
30th August
2015.
or September?
30.
What's the law?
August.
What's the rules?
Whichever higher.
Whichever is earlier. Sama ada full payment atau transfer of ownership, whichever is earlier, then you take 30 August lah. 30th August 2015. Alright. So 30th August 2015, full 1 year bila? Kalau you start 30th August, 1 full year is 29th August 2016. So 2000, tak muat tempat lah. Tag je boleh. Okay. So 2016, okay, bila you punya disposal? You, after a few months, it was sold to Zali and was signed on 28 January. So 28 January 2019. Okay, kita tengok. 29 August 2016, lepas tu you akan ada 2017, you ada 2018 kan? Which is 29 of August 2018. 29 August 2016 is 1 full year. 2017, 29 August 2017 is 2nd year. 29 August 2018 is the 3rd year. So means that dekat 28 ni kan ni after this date kan? So this one is the 4th year.
The 4th year.
Bila dah 4th year, what is the tax rate? For individual? Kat mana?
20%.
20%.
20%, then you kira lah. How much is the 20%? Then you akan dapat 34,280 as your RPGT payable. Nampak? Senang je kan? You follow je the rules, you should be able to get. Number 1, determine the action price and then disposal price, then holding period. Then you dapat you punya RPGT payable. So far so good?
So good.
So far okay, Dr.
Okay, sebab dah buat ke belum buat? Dah buat ke belum? Senyap.
Buat sikit-sikit,
Tapi
doktor.
kalau kata tak buat tapi faham, tu memang terror lah kan? Okay. Number second question, dia tanya pasal retention. I'm not sure whether I covered this part or not on the retention. Dia macam ni tau. You ada acquirer and then you have the disposer kan? Alright. Both are required to submit CKHT1 and CKHT2. CKHT1 form dia and then CKHT2. Any idea what is CKHT? Ini form dekat lembaga hasil ni. Written form. CKHT.
No, I don't. Chargeable.
Dia bahasa Melayu.
Oh.
Cukai hasil tanah.
Cukai hasil tanah. 1 is disposer submit, 2 is the acquirer submit. Cukai hasil tanah. In other words, orang kampung I cakap RPGT. Tahu? Pernah dengar tak cukai hasil tanah? You all tak dengar lah. Kita belajar RPGT. So benda yang sama ya. So you're gonna submit this, and the requirement is that 60 days, all right, within 60 days from the date of disposal. Date of disposal, go back lah, how you decide on the date of disposal. Yeah, so that would be the requirement, number one, right, to submit the relevant form within 60 days to Inland Revenue Board. So walaupun CKHT is under RPGT, is under different act, but it's still under Inland Revenue Board, yeah. Okay. Number two is that the law also requires that the acquirer, right, the acquirer to retain berapa persen? 3%. Is it 3%? Betul tak 3%? I rasa betul. 3% of disposal price. So tadi kalau disposal price is 1 million, so maknanya 3% is
30,000.
30,000. So acquirer, so maknanya patutnya acquirer kena bayar pada disposal 1 million, dia tak boleh bayar full 100%. Dia kena retain 3% tu, 30,000 tu dia kena bayar pada RB bila dia submit return CKHT 2. Alright, dia bayar pada RB. So maknanya sekarang ni, siapa yang kena bayar tax? Disposal. Tapi kenapa sekarang ni acquirer yang pergi retain bayar duit tu pada RB, just macam lembaga hasil dah ada duit lah. Maknanya bila you submit duit sebelum you bayar everything, maknanya 3%